Ravens signed Super Bowl champion CJ Gardner-Johnson. We'll talk about what this move means and what he might bring to the Ravens defense. We'll also discuss what else this Ravens defense needs to help turn this around. And we'll discuss Joe Flacco being traded from the Browns to the Bengals and how the Ravens are set to face off against Flacco at the bank again. All that and more in today's episode of the Flock Rundown.
Ravens Flock. Flock Rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Before we get into today's topics, I just want to say rest in peace to Captain Dee-Fense. The Ravens flock lost another member of the family, Arthur Jones, last week, and now Captain Dee-Fense, one of the super fans of the Ravens, probably the first super fan. I mean, even as a kid, I remember Captain Dee-Fense at every single game, seeing him on the Ravens walk. This guy's always just full of life and energy, and just rest in peace. Moving on to today's news, the Ravens just signed safety CJ Gardner-Johnson to help this defense. It definitely adds a lot of toughness to this defense. He won the Super Bowl last year with the Eagles, had a very productive season last year with the Eagles, 6 interceptions. He was traded from the Eagles to the Texans in March of this year in exchange for guard Kenyon Green, who is also on the Ravens practice squad now. And then he played 3 games with the Texans this year before being released over friction and unhappiness with his role. I've seen a lot of fans already saying that this affects Malachi Starks, but I really don't think so. I think this probably lowers a lot of playing time for guys like Ruben Lowry and potentially Keon Martin. You know, I think CJ Gardner-Johnson is going to be brought in to add a lot of toughness to this defense and also free Kyle Hamilton up even more. And I don't know if he'll play this week right away or not, but definitely after the bye. CJ Gardner-Johnson is going to be out there in that Ravens defense. Adds a lot of toughness, man. I mean, he's an emotional player. As you can see, you know, he wasn't getting along with the Texans. A lot of friction there. If things aren't going well in Baltimore, he could potentially add some friction there. But I also like that toughness on the field. You know, I like emotional players sometimes because if things are going right, he's adding that toughness that we need on defense right now too, and experience. I mean, this guy is 27 years old. He's been in the league since 2019. He played 3 years with the Saints, then had a year with the Eagles, then played a year with the Lions, back with the Eagles, won the Super Bowl, and then the Texans, and now the Ravens. We'll see if he works out in Baltimore and can stick on this defense, but you can't be mad at this move. I mean, we didn't give up anything. We just signed him. It wasn't a trade. You know, he's going to get activated either this week or after the bye, and I think that really just helps not play these rookies as much. I mean, Ruben Lowry and Keon Martin are out there a ton. These are undrafted free agents, and I'm not saying that they're bad players, but a guy like CJ Gardner-Johnson is a safer option. The Ravens have been struggling with stopping the run, and they've definitely been struggling with getting to the quarterback. So having a free Kyle Hamilton to roam around, who can rush the passer on a disguised blitz, who can blow up screen plays, help within the run game, just keep him closer to the line of scrimmage, I think that is an asset to this team, man. I think Malachi Starks continues to do what he's doing, stays in his role, but this adds depth to the safety room and a lot more freedom for Kyle Hamilton as well. And we don't have to play as many undrafted rookies, which their experience is shining through. I think they've got a lot of potential. There's a reason that these guys made the team, but they're obviously not ready to go out there and lead a defense that's struggling, especially. So get some veteran leadership in here, get some nastiness on this defense. That's what CJ Gardner's going to bring. And I don't think that solves all the defensive issues, but it does allow Kyle Hamilton to stay closer to the line of scrimmage, which helps in a variety of areas. Week 6 of the season is here. There's some incredible matchups this week, and this year I've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you guys an incredible offer. New customers turn $5 into $200 if your bet wins, paid instantly in bonus bets. The crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Just make sure when you sign up to use promo code TFR. And I don't think this CJ Gardner-Johnson signing solves all the Ravens' defensive issues, but it's definitely a smart move, and it's a good step in the right direction. So if we can continue to maybe have another signing, maybe Eric Kendricks comes back, I'd like to add him to the mix. And then if the Ravens really believe in turning this around, which I think they do, then they're going to go make a move at the trade deadline. I don't know how aggressive they're going to get. I don't think they're going to trade a first-round pick or anything, but they can get aggressive at the trade deadline and add some pass rush help and or interior defensive line help, maybe some guard help. I think those are the issues of this team right now. And if we can get to the quarterback a lot faster, that is going to help turn this defense around drastically. Getting to the quarterback with a four-man rush is something that we have not been able to do all season, and I still don't think we're able to do that. We're obviously going to have to bring some extra pressure right now, but if we go out and make a move for a pass rusher or just somebody that can get to the quarterback, that will solve a lot of things, man. This defense can definitely turn around, especially back half of the schedule being as easy as it is. Not easy, but way easier than what we've dealt with. I definitely think this defense can turn around. So I'm still not feeling super confident about this week against the Rams. I hope I'm wrong, but I am getting some optimism for the rest of the season, man. I really do think the Ravens turn this thing around after the bye. I think they continue to add pieces to this defense, whether through trade or just free agent signings like CJ Gardner-Johnson. I think they may make a trade to move the needle a little bit more as well. Like I said, we got to get to the quarterback, man. We got to stop the run. We got to put pressure on some quarterbacks. That's going to change everything. Our secondary isn't awful if we can get to the quarterback a lot faster. I definitely think that that turns things around. So I'm expecting a move at the trade deadline. I really don't think the Ravens are going to be big sellers. I know a lot of people are like, just tank, just tank. I don't think the front office and the coaching staff is on the same page. I think they're going to try and turn this around. You know, the entire AFC is wide open. There's no undefeated teams in the NFL anymore. The AFC North is definitely not as strong as it once was. I think there's a wide open opportunity for the Ravens to turn this season around, especially after the bye. So keep adding pieces to the defense. Let's start playing better defense. Let's see what happens. Speaking of the AFC North, Joe Flacco traded within the division from the Browns to the Bengals and is immediately QB1 for the Bengals until Joe Burrow gets back, which means most likely we are seeing Joe Flacco at the bank Thanksgiving night. That's crazy, man. I'm excited to go against Flacco again. I will also be at that game, so I'm definitely looking forward to the game, but I was a little disappointed when Burrow wasn't playing because I was like, man, it's, you just want the best against the best. You hate when you're playing against backup quarterbacks and stuff, even though we kind of need to at this point to get some wins. But we'll be seeing Flacco again, so that makes this game a little bit more fun, I think. That adds a little bit more storylines to the game, and we already saw Flacco this year. It went great for the Ravens defense, but the Bengals do have a lot more weapons than the Browns do. So I expect Flacco to have a little bit more success. Nothing that we can't handle, but I definitely think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins just got a boost with Flacco. He's smart. He's got a strong arm still. And Cincinnati's trying to make the playoffs however they can. So when Joe Burrow comes back at the end of the season, they can pick up and try and go on a Super Bowl run. So we'll see how it plays out, but definitely interesting to see a AFC North trade, a quarterback trade, and Flacco just got benched on the Browns. I think they're trying to see what they got with the young guys, with Gabriel and maybe Shador if they ever play him. But Flacco is on the Cincinnati Bengals now and is only one team shy of playing for all four teams in the AFC North. So if he ends up on the Steelers next year, then he'll have played for the entire AFC North, which is pretty crazy. But shout out Flacco, man. Excited to go against him again on Thanksgiving. That's it for today, guys. Just wanted to come on, talk about the CJ Gardner-Johnson signing and the Flacco trade. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the signing. What else does this defense need? Or are you still on tank the season, it's all over? Let me know what you guys are thinking. Appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Ravens Flock. The Flock Rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the Flock Rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.